Hey there, barrel chasing business owners, and welcome to this episode of Barrels and Business. As always, I'm your host, Jay Green, and today I am joined by a psychedelic hippie that's committed to leave a world in a better place. So in the next hour or so, Jen and I are going to share with you tangible tips on not only how you can grow your business, but how you can be a better human and have some more fun living your epic life. So Jennifer Jefferies, she is a philanthropist who loves breaking new ground and living in the unknown zone of life. When I was trying to schedule this podcast, she said to me, "I'm sorry, I can't do it next week. I'm going to Antarctica." My team got the message and they're like, "Are you dead set interviewing someone that's going to fucking Antarctica?" I'm like, okay, I've got to go back and listen to this message. Antarctica. But yeah, she was off to Antarctica. We've got a bit of a bio for her. We're going to put the bio, I think, in the show notes. But the key things I think we need to know is she's a registered aromatherapist and naturopath for over 30 years. She's authored not one, not two, not 10, but 14 books. Like 14 books. And she has a #1 best-selling book as well. The #1 book on intuitive aromatherapy in the whole world. But most excitingly, the main thing why I love Jennifer and following her story is her purple Jeep and her juicy life outlook. And I don't know why this happened. It seems a little bit creepy, but I had a dream.
Stalking me?
I don't know. Do you remember when I reached out to you? I said, I just had a dream about you and your partner, and I just have to have you on the podcast. I don't know why, and I have no fucking idea why you two were in my...
I don't know if I should be creeped out that you're dreaming about me, or I should be woo about that.
You and your beautiful partner too. I was just like, I don't know, you guys just like this present day wise woman thing just had me hooked, and there was something about, I don't know, I felt connected to you. So I thought, that's it.
Well, trust the universe. We're meant to play together. We've got to trust the universe on this one.
I'm all down for the universe. What did I forget in presenting you to the world, my dear?
I am a big dag. I am a daggy dyke. That's my biggest claim to fame is that I am absolutely just a big dag, and I love life. That's probably the piece you missed.
See, this is why you're my people. I am known as a dork mainly. So
you're a dork. I'm a dag. Cool.
Yeah, I think they're all the same.
Yeah.
They really just group together. So let's start. We started talking about the surf and boards and all that. It's like, let's stop.
Let's stop and push record and actually do what we're going to do.
Let's just do this stuff live. So you would tell me that board behind you was stunning. And tell me, why does it now have pride and place in your office?
She's my first board. She is absolutely my first board. And I love it. I was drawn to the peacock feather. She was totally not the right board for me to learn to surf on. I didn't want to go to a foamy first, but she looked pretty. And I went, I'll take her. So I had a lot of adventure.
That's been a downfall for you in the past.
What, just going for things that look pretty?
She looks pretty.
She looks pretty. I'll have her. Yeah, so I've since graduated to other boards, and I love her. She's just a very pretty board. So I love that she sits in the background with me.
How long have you had her?
I started to learn to surf 6 summers ago, so 5 years ago.
Oh wow! So
yeah,
nice and fresh as well. So
yeah, I'm a newbie surfer, and I took up surfing at 55, as you do. I'm about to turn 60 in a few weeks. In 3 weeks, I'll be 60, and it's like, shouldn't really learn how to surf when you're 55. Yeah.
Well, look, I decided I'd start playing tackle football at 35. That wasn't
nice.
My finest moments, and I decided to get back into surfing at 39. So a little bit before you, but I think that your energy levels and your zest for life are far, far younger than your years, lady.
Oh, I'm 20 years old. I'm still 20 years old in my brain, and I try to do all the same shit that I did when I was 20, and I just take a little bit longer to recover sometimes. But yeah, I seriously, 60 is insane for me. I see photos of my mum at the same age and I think, fuck, she was an old woman. It's just like so different.
Well, when you used to, I feel like when I was a kid, I'd look at a 40-year-old or a 45-year-old and go, oh my God, that's so old. Like, what am I going to be like then? Mind you, my dad didn't learn to surf until he was 40 either.
Dad.
But I really do think you look around at other people your age. I look at other people my age and you're like, I'm not that old. Yeah. And what do you think that comes down to?
Well, I think part of it is the people you hang with. So even surfing, I'm out surfing with, 20, 30-year-olds most mornings. I surf 5 or 6 mornings a week. I hang around with young people. Just my circle of people are either physically young or they vibe really high like me. I don't want to turn into an old lady who wears flowery nano dresses. I just don't. I truly believe that we can be strong, fit, and vital all the way through our life. And I want to be the crazy 96-year-old chick that's, can go surfing if I choose, that I'm strong and fit and healthy enough to do that. I'm not going to turn into the old, I'm not buying into the aging game. Will I age? 100%. Will I come from a place of prevention to stay strong, fit, and healthy through my life? Bloody oath I will. I really will.
Yeah.
That's just what we do.
I really do believe that age is a mindset and choice, because 100%. The moment I decided that I said, that's it, I'm going to turn 40 forever. Every birthday, just turning 40. And the minute I made that choice and decided that I was going to live into being a 20-year-old again, my whole physiological looks and everything changed. Like, I did change my diet to get off the preservatives and the sugar and the shit.
Sure.
But the difference I just 100% believe is purely around belief, and your body lives into the expectation you have on it.
100%. It really does. But can I share with you, turning 50 is super cool. Turning 60 is fucking epic. I can't the emotional liberation of being nearly 60. I don't know what it is. There's an energetic shift. And 40, I remember, was really cool. That was when I first kind of went just like, it's great. 50 is like greater, and 60, seriously, it's undescribable, the feeling and the excitement I have for life nowadays. And that's the way it should be. And that's my thing, is helping people to be that vibe. Because, talking with business, they carry across. How we show up in our life totally reflects in our business. If we're dragging our ass physically, our business will drag its ass. It's not
how you do one thing is how you do everything, I believe. And eventually you might be able to A-type personality push through in business and get to a certain level, but eventually your shit's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, like, talk me through that. How, I know you work with a lot of different people about how you can bring that mindset across and how it permeates both areas of your life, the personal and the business. Just walk us through a bit more of your methodology or mentality around that.
I come from a background where, I was kicked out of the army at 20, did 3 years in the army, got kicked out, and chose from that moment to live a life that it was just like, here is me, front up, no matter what. And it was a real conscious mind state. And with that, I went, that was cool. And I was going and going and going. And then in my mid-20s, I burned out. I was working in the pharmacy industry and burned out my adrenal glands and wrapped my car around a telegraph pole. That was all kind of part of that journey. And I remember laying in hospital thinking, I can go back to all the rest of life, or I can live a life of yes and just turn everything on its head. And so, like, when I was 55, my assistant said to me, Jen, let's take up surfing. I went, yes, let's do that. And then thought, fuck, I'm going to take it up. And so mindset's one thing. I'm so out in the world, nothing to do with being gay, but I'm so in the world by choice. And I'm an introvert who draws on my extrovert to cope with the world the way I want. So wow. I do that to live the life and have the change, or create the change and transformation for the world that I want to. So it's a real conscious thing for me. And it took me two biggest impacts were getting kicked out of the army and then burning out, and literally wrapping my car around a telegraph pole. I went, I've got a second chance. I'm going to live a totally different life. And I've lived into that. And it served me.
So what advice do you give to business owners that are on that burnout trail and maybe have conformed to the bullshit rules of society? You know, they're doing all the things they should, feeling maybe a bit suppressed and not embodying or embracing who they really are.
Well, that's where I was. I remember it was the 1980s and I had the right job. I had the right career path. I had the right house, the right relationship, had all the right stuff. And I was really dragging my ass on the inside. And the silly thing is, as humans, we have to wait to get hit by the Mack truck to even notice. I remember my mum saying, Jen, can't you see what you're doing? And I'm going, nah, Mum, I'm good. See, tick, 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 tick. Got them all.
All the boxes.
Got it all. And they were just, it was just not working. So my advice is I will listen to the people that I care and respect around me, because when we're in it, we can't see it. And have people in your life that will call you on your bullshit, which I have nowadays. I didn't back then. And probably because I am a very strong personality, they didn't feel safe to call me on my bullshit, where nowadays I'm really upfront with mates. Like, I can tell me what's going on. I want to know, because we can't see it when we're in it. So listen.
I think that's a really important thing, because sometimes out of ego, not necessarily bad ego, we don't want to be called on our shit. We want to feel like we've got our shit together.
Absolutely.
Or when we're in the spiral, we can't see it.
Yeah.
But what's your advice to people on being able to start that process of inviting friends in, giving them the safety to call you on your shit, and create that I don't know, do you run with the some of the 5 people, or I talk about the orbit?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are, there's some of the 5 people. Well, we're a product of our environment. So our environment is the people that we're in contact with the majority of the time. So make sure that I don't want everyone in my life to be a yes person. I want people to challenge me to grow. And so I make sure I've got my inner circle of people contain people like that. So I'm conscious that I've brought them into my circle for a reason. So then I do listen to them.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, look at who you're hanging with. Look at, business-wise, business mentors, all those kind of things. Because what I learned is that we have a range. So there's kind of, here's Jen, the extrovert on stage, doing a thing. Here's Jen, the introvert at home, won't play with anyone and won't listen to anyone, because I just think, I can't go. I just want to hide down here. And this one, when she's on stage, she's so in flight, she can't see it. And this piece in the middle, I never used to play. And I've learned to play in my range. And that was a big thing for me to be, it was kind of like, I wanted, I'm just that personality. It's like, it's all or it's nothing. And so for me to play in this middle range felt not congruent for me. And I've grown the wisdom of aging, blah, blah, and screwing things up. I've grown that I'm comfortably uncomfortable in this middle range of life now, where I used to see that as being boring.
No, it's boring, mediocre. Ugh.
Yeah, I can't do mediocre.
No, but I say I have 2 biggest fears: public writing and mediocrity. And I've got over the public writing because I just get a copywriter now. But but mediocrity, I'm not. That shit really freaks me out.
Don't want to play an average life.
Now, I think that a lot of people either gain this wisdom with years, or they hit a Mack truck and maybe an awakening. But what can we do? What can we do to start looking at that circle and cultivating those relationships before the Mack truck, or before the big milestone birthdays come along?
I think actually notice what's happening in your life. So, from a business point of view, notice what's happening. Everything is either growing or it's dying. And we know that all businesses grow, consolidate. But if you're just hanging and not getting the growth, we've got to look, there's something you're doing, your actions you're taking or not taking are keeping you in that position. So you've got a choice to do something with it. But then the same thing is with your health. Notice what's going on. So like my body was giving me hints with things like crappy sleep, broken sleep, waking up between 2 and 4 a.m., eating and craving, although I was alcohol in those days and things to be able to keep going, and caffeine, crappy moods. God, I was a cranky bitch. You know, your body gives you hints that you're off track, the same as your business gives you hints off track. But it's really easy to go, well, this has worked in the past, I'm just going to keep doing this. But there comes a point in business and in health that we've just got to go, this has been a pretty reasonable amount of time doing the same thing. It's time to shake things up. And then look who you can bring in to call you on your bullshit and say, well, this, Jen, you've got, this is it, this time you need to do this. And it's a point. So I think I am the stickler, stay in there kind of chick. And in the past, to my detriment, I hung in longer than I should have, if there's shoulds, and didn't listen. So when I started to bring people in that I really respected, I just saw it differently, and I was able to course correct a lot faster.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you had your own posse of coaches, right? If you're on a sporting team, you've got coaches that are going to look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, point out where you can turn the dial and adjust. Like if you think about the golf swing, that one percenter that you can't see yourself by being in the swing, where a coach can look at it as like, oh, you just need to turn your this that way. I see the same thing as if we can dial in our circle, and they'd be like, actually, you know, I know that what you were hoping to get from that conversation, the outcome you were looking for and the heart you were coming from was this, but I don't know if you realize that your body language or your tone said that.
Yeah. We need coaches and mentors through life. We really do. Yeah. And we, I believe that we attract mirrors in our life. And so I'm really aware of looking for things that trigger me, because I know there's something in it for me to grow. And the same with business. And it's not a comparing game. I see it as there's a trigger, something in the way I'm showing up wants to be loved free, if you want to put it that way, to grow through.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is just to have your bloody eyes open and be aware.
Yeah. My postie's just like banging at the door going, I've got post at the door for you.
Hey, postie.
He normally delivers through the window. It's so cute.
All good.
He's like, oh, goodness. Let's just talk about those triggers a little bit more. What advice do you give like your clients and the people that you work with around noticing the triggers, how to deal with it, any tools, framework?
Yeah, the most common thing, 80% of our, if I talk from the health perspective, because it reflects to business as well, 80% of our health is lifestyle imbalances. Okay, so whether it is showing up as, you know, crappy energy, or crappy sleep, or crappy moods, or crappy weight, whatever the kind of crap is that's showing up, the same in your business. 80% of that can be cleared. It's like lifestyle, day-to-day little practices that need to change. It's not the big things, it's the little things that we're doing that compound. So I get people you know, people get excited. They can't help themselves. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to, you know, you give them a list of protocols to do, whether it's on business or health. And they go, oh, I'm going to do it all at once. They do it for 3 days, quit, and just go, oh, it's too hard. So I'm a really, really, really realistic naturopath. I want people to play the long game in life. I want them to do their reboot, whether it is their business or their health, do a reboot, but start with the core basics that can bring long-term change. And then you work at your maintenance so that you can come from a place of prevention and not go down that same travel in the future. So if I think of health, you know, the most common thing that people do nowadays, it's the little hits that we're getting on a day-to-day basis that are taking us off track. And the part of our body that gets taxed is our adrenal glands. And in Chinese medicine, we say your adrenals are where your qi, your vibe for life, lives. And we're meant to spend a bit of qi every day and put it back in, and spend it and put it back in. But when we spend too much and don't put it back in, we die. Pretty simple. When we run out of qi, we die. And your qi is replenished, your adrenal glands are replenished with good food, good rest, and good play. And I see people who are burned out, just like not knowing what to do, even in their business and everything. And they go, oh, I'm going to eat clean, and I'm going to go to bed early, and I'm going to go for walks. And the thing they forget to do is to actually play.
Live life?
Yeah, it is so important. We've got to do that. We've got to bring the life back into our business. We've got to bring the life back to us. If you're sending messages to, you know, potential customers, or whether you're seeing them face to face, it doesn't matter. But when you're there with them, and if your vibe's like, yeah, you really should buy my product, all good. They're thinking, fuck, I don't want to deal with you. Like, really, if I can use your product, I'm going to look like that. I'm not going to do it. So we've got to get, at some stage, we have to get that injection of energy. And again, in Chinese medicine, we say the way you get energy is to use energy. We've got to take a step forward. We've got to keep doing the steps forward and that to be able to keep moving forward. You've got to start. And that's where people don't. But the thing they forget to start with is to literally just get into life and have fun. If you're going to play with the kids, play with the kids. Like, if you're going to surf, that's why I love surfing. It is the one thing I truly do in my life where everything else in the world disappears. It just disappears. And I'm just there. It's bliss. It is the best adrenal charging thing I've ever found. I have to be present. It's so good. Yeah.
What made your assistant go, we're going to start surfing?
Because he's a 27-year-old guy at the time.
And he's like, and if I can convince you to do it,
yeah, he wanted to learn to surf. So of course he said, hey, Jimmy, we should learn to surf. And we can surf every day before work. I went, that's a fantastic idea, Shane.
Oh, I love it.
Anyway, it's become an addiction for both of us. We just love it so much. It's been great. It's been way better, brought so much to my life.
What tips would you give a newbie coming into surfing then?
Oh, just get water time. Well, get a coach, definitely get some lessons. And I still have weekly or fortnightly one-on-one coaching sessions because I'm doing little tweaks all the time.
Yep.
So I'm really believing coaching and mentoring. I just do. But you've got to get water time. It's like you can't just read. You can watch all the YouTubes until the cows come home. At some stage, you have to get your ass in the water on a cold, like this morning, I'm a sunrise surfer. And to be able to surf this morning with that setting moon and pissy little 1-foot waves was the best fun. It was insanely fun morning, but you've got to get the water time in. And
where
then
were you this morning?
I just went to the alley. No, I went to the alley. Went to the alley because I was having a business breakfast with a client just afterwards. So I went there.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. It was a wonderful morning, just pure joy. Yeah. But you've got to get water time.
This is the thing that I think most business owners forget. That I don't have time to have the fun. I don't have time. And I literally just was working with a client this week, and I was like, okay, well, what are you doing for you? You've just described your week to me, and I know you got a newborn baby, and I know you got a new missus, and got the businesses going and everything, but I didn't hear any you time in any of that. It's like, oh yeah, well, I've got the baby, and she just lays over my arm while I'm working, and so that's kind of, I'm like, no. So what did you used to do? Oh, well, I used to play soccer for Australia, and I used to surf every single day, and every month I would take my son, and every winter I'd take my son to the snow for a month, and we'd live in a van, and we'd do all these things. I'm like,
do it again.
What? And it's like, oh, but I've got all this stuff to do. I'm like, but you're not you've got to slow down to speed up. And if you're not refilling that tank, like you said, re-energizing the chi, then eventually the tank's going to drain. And your ability, like, how do you find your creative brain and your ability to decision make after you've surfed versus?
It's the best. I'm on fire. My creative brain, I come up with my best ideas in the surf. It's insane. Yeah. Our brain, like every other muscle, it has to play too. It has to rest, and it literally needs to play. So I wrote a book called The 7 Steps to Sanity, one of my corporate kind of preventing burnout books. Anyway, part of it in it is that we've got to schedule in that play time, and 1% of your day is 15 minutes. Do 15 minutes. And I remember I had a CEO once, he did the big gig, and then he comes up at the end and he goes, Jen, that was great, really good. And same thing. So what are you doing for play? Oh, no time. I went, great. And what I've found is that people will, whether they schedule in a massage, or they schedule in a surfing session, or they schedule in something that is their time, when everything starts going to custard, they cancel that first, where I never cancel those things. I just won't. So what I did for him, it was he had a BlackBerry. I always remember him. I had a BlackBerry a long time ago, but anyway, I remember him because I had a black about 12 years ago or something. I remember him because it was a blackberry, but it was interesting because what I did was I grabbed his blackberry, and in the appointments, I put an appointment in for 3:00 on a Thursday afternoon. And all it said was be spontaneous. That was it. So every Thursday at 3:00, and I told his PA, it was a not negotiable. He's never to be, that is never allowed to be moved. And he played the game. So it's like at 3:00 on a Thursday to go, ding, be spontaneous. And for real, guys, if you have to do planned spontaneity, bloody do it. You've got to schedule that stuff in and then make it a not negotiable, because that adds years to your life. That keeps you alive. Just doing the worky stuff, it takes you off this planet really fast. I nearly went there. You don't want to do that stuff.
Yeah. I really believe that we're souls here having a human experience, and I'm pretty sure the souls didn't come here just to grind under fluorescent lights and, smash keyboards and die.
No, I agree. It's meant to play. So I took the ukulele up. Ukulele, it's an instrument that learn 2 or 3 chords and you can play a dozen songs or more. And I play my uke half an hour or so every day, and it's pure fun. Where something like guitar, you have to actually learn.
Yeah.
A uke, you can jump straight onto it and just be silly, and it's joy. The same. It's a scheduled part of my day. It's in my calendar. I play uke and I play with a group on Friday mornings just for fun at the alley.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, it's so good. Just makes me smile.
I think I've heard about this group.
Yeah, it's really cool.
For a while?
And it's a bunch of surfers. And we end up getting, there's a bunch of ukuleles, bunch of, guitars, any instrument you can turn up. And they're all surfers. Yeah. And then all the general public kind of end up coming and singing along. And it's just fun.
I might be able to play the triangle.
Bring it on. Oh, we've got little maracas you can borrow.
Oh, I can definitely shake a maraca.
Oh, you need to come and do that.
I can do that, or a tambourine.
Yeah. Oh, we have tambourines.
Yeah.
You'd be a great tambourine player.
Yeah.
Hasn't got ribbons on it, but
I've got the hips for a tambourine.
That's it.
Yeah.
You'll be the tambourine girl.
I'm on.
You've got to have fun. And you will. Your creativity will go through the roof when you actually let your brain be creative.
Yeah. Yep. And this is 100% one of the things I keep trying to push upon people right now. And it's a mirror for myself, because I'm terrible at it. I have this soul-sucking search for significance that makes me be busy being busy. And because, the super A-type personality, the ADD, all the things that it's just like, I've got to be fucking pushing forward. I can't be mediocre. I've got to be doing, got to be doing.
Yep.
And
we teach what we need to learn, by the way.
Oh, yeah. 100%, right?
Yeah, we do.
Like, okay, got to find the ways to make this shit work. But 100%, the times that I give myself the white space, the times that I go, okay, I'm going surfing, or my best pieces come from if I go and sit in a pub with a notepad and a pen and a glass of Prosecco and some oysters, just surrounded by the chaos so that my brain can't be thinking of the chaos. And then all of a sudden it comes through, because I vibe off we're not sure if I'm an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. I like to be on my own, but I regain my energy from other people's energy and vibration. Yeah. And so that for some reason connects me.
That's for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it quiets monkey brain. Because if I'm sitting here on my own, it goes off where it needs, not where it needs to go.
Yeah, where it goes. I get it. I totally get it.
But I think that comes from conditioning or programming, and maybe this hustle mentality where it's kind of ingrained in us that we've got to work hard and you've got to be doing stuff, and that there's not enough science or proof for people to really buy into the play is actually what will get you the results.
Yeah, big time. And I was raised, with a family business. So we all worked after school. We worked every weekend. Dad always said, you rest when the work's done.
Yeah. In
a family business, the work is never
sleep when I'm done. Sleep when you're dead.
It's never done. And so it's like that. That's all. I have an amazing work ethic. Yay. That's what nearly chucked me in a grave at 25. It's like, it's not cool. But I've, you know, a lot of my work and study has been really working with Eastern philosophies, and they get it. They go with nature. You can't beat nature. And so literally when you, then that, you know, people go, like, your heart keeps you alive. Yeah, but what keeps that alive? There is an invisible energy that makes the heart tick. And it's your chi, and you've got to be replenishing. It's interesting. One of the first signs of adrenal tiredness is broken sleep between 2 and 4 a.m. People get up for a pee. And if you ever need to have a pee, it's between 2 and 4 a.m. Get up and pee. Don't hold it, because your kidneys and your heart work together. And you're literally, your cortisol levels are too high from adrenal stress. And your body is waking you up to take the stress off your heart. Yeah. So that's one of the first ones when I'm working with any client, you know, around the world. Great. What's your sleep like? Tell me, you know, do you go to sleep? Good. Do you sleep all the way through? Oh, broken. Really? Between 2 and 4 a.m.? Yeah. How'd you know? You get up for a pee? Yeah. Great. Cortisol levels are too high. Really simple. And so in Chinese medicine, we say that your adrenals are recharged between 2 and 4 a.m. So all your different body systems recharge at different times through the day. Adrenals are between 2 and 4. It's the easiest marker to see how your body's dealing with cortisol.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to ask you for a free naturopathic coaching session right now. What do we do? What do we do to get the cortisol down? And how do we sleep between 2 and 4?
Okay, bottom line. Cortisol is the thing that gives us our energy to get out of bed in the morning. It's like me. I wake up between 4 and 5, full of energy. Off I go. It's meant to be 100% when you wake, and meant to be 10% of that when you go to sleep. And then it recharges through the night, and that's 100%, and then off you go. You need between 7 and 9 hours sleep to recharge your adrenals.
I feel like a Mack truck hit me if I'm after 7 hours, like, because I'm normally up. My normal time is 4:30.
Yep.
I wake up.
Yep.
5 if I've been really tired, but anything after 7 hours sleep, I literally feel like shit. Like usually 6 is my sweet. 5 to 6.
Great. So can I share with you? You want to 7 minimum? I'm really serious. 7 minimum.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. So the most important sleep you do is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And that's the time that your body is getting ready to recharge the cortisol, recharge your adrenals.
Right.
So as that was the biggest change I've made in my health in the last 30 years, when I learned this stuff and it just all made sense. Went great. So as a discipline, and my friends all know it, 6 nights a week, I'm in bed by 9:30 and I'm asleep. Boom. I wake up fresh towards 5 and it's just like, off I go. I get up, I jump in my purple Jeep and I go surfing. And that's the way it's meant to be. But you've got to replenish your adrenals. Sleep is so important. So in the herbal world, there's a class of herbs that naturopaths, the most common class of herbs that we prescribe are called adaptogens. They help your body adapt to stress. So we've got to get your adrenal glands recharging properly. So adaptogen herbs feel that way. In the aromatherapy world, there's an essential oil called vetiver. It smells like dirt. It's taken from the roots of a big grass. Yeah. And it's excellent for that. So using that kind of oil in a vaporizer at night, or even on the soles of your feet, because the feet are waterproof, not oil-proof. Just put a drop on the soles of your feet to ground you out. That's what it does. It doesn't make you go to sleep. It grounds a busy brain. Yeah. It's an oil that we use in clinic for ADD kids and that. Like, I'm ADHD. That's, in case you hadn't worked that shit out. That's the way I am. I go fast. I go fast. So I've had to learn to control it. That's it. And so the adaptogen herbs, same deal. Adaptogens adapt to what you're doing. So if you take them in the morning, they give you more energy. If you take them right at bedtime, but Jade, it's got to be the way a guy goes to sleep. A guy says, I'm going to bed now, and he just goes to bed. A chick says, I'm going to bed now, and she will do 10 more things. And I can't be trusted. So my herbal tonic I take every night, it lives in my ensuite. So I've done everything. And then it's like, I slug it down, I brush my teeth, I lay down, go to sleep. And when you do that, that brings you, adaptogens bring you into an adrenal recharging sleep. And I've honestly taken those kind of herbs for 30 years. I'll never go back to taxing my adrenal glands again. I did it, and it's not worth it.
how, like, again, the coach teaches what they need to learn.
Yes.
Evening habits. As much as I preach it, just trying to make, I have an alarm that goes off on my phone at 10 p.m. that's bedtime. And like last night, it was literally roll over high five because the alarm went off when we were in bed. It's like, we made it.
Yeah.
What time are you thinking that you need to take this? You're already having it in your ensuite. How quick does it work?
Yeah, you've got like about a 15-minute window.
Right.
So the herbs will adapt to what you're doing in about that 15-minute window. So if you don't take it, I'm going to bed now and I'm going to read a book or watch telly or do the extra fun bedroom activities, you don't do it then. You've done all that stuff and then you go, I'm going to sleep now. Take it, brush your teeth, lay down, go to sleep. And I honestly, I breathe deep into it. I do the breathing courses with Sal Howe, the Ocean Confidence.
Oh, yes.
Love it. And I do my breaths and I honestly feel my body just go and I'm gone. That's it. Now you are allowed to roll over in the night. That's okay. But if you're rolling over and have to have a pee or can't get back to sleep, well, that's a different story. We are allowed to roll over and just go straight back to sleep. Or when your cat walks across you like mine does, she has to walk across my chest every night. When she does, I just roll over and go back to sleep. So, yeah.
Can we drop back into was it the 7 steps to sanity?
Yeah.
Walk us through those.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
And I would use my other hand, it's just in my pocket.
That's okay. So this was a book that I wrote. I wrote it around 20 years ago. But I thought I have to document what I actually did to get my shit together when I burned out. So the first step I've got a copy. No, I haven't got a copy here. Can't show you it. Anyway.
Give a link if people can buy it still. Yeah,
you can. It's on my website, easy. So first step is all about respecting yourself. We've got to look after us first. It's about, all the little things like, the whole oxygen mask on, but part of it is actually about saying no. Too many people do that. Yes. And then inside they're going, no. And that messes with our body chemistry because then we usually give ourselves a hard time, and negative emotions like guilt change your body chemistry from being alkaline to acidic faster than crap food. So if you're going to say yes, own it.
Wow.
If you say no, own it. So that's why that's the very first step. It's really important.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one. Now, second step is to feed your body. We've got to feed our body properly. And again, I'm the realistic naturopath. So I just am. People are going to have some fun food sometimes. That's okay. That doesn't do the damage. It's what you do 90% of the time or 80% of the time that matters. So, and the very first, I'm big on what I call no bum glue, no white bread, white rice, white pasta, no refined and processed grains, and big on water. Our body needs 33 ml per kilo per day minimum just to operate. So, and then there's, all the other parts of nutrition. In fact, if people want to go to my website, they can download my Feed Your Body ebook. Go and get it.
Oh, beautiful. We'll put that in the show notes for everyone.
Yeah, that saves me talking about all that. So then we've got to move our body in some way. But again, part of it's fun. It's no use me going into a gym and flogging myself when I'm there feeling, I hate this stuff. It doesn't work. So for me, surfing is my exercise. Surfing and walking. I walked the Camino Way in 2014. I walked across Spain. I'll do that kind of stuff. Is the stuff that I love.
My friends wanted me to do that with them. I had 3 friends do it just before COVID in separate things. I was like, I could not think of anything. I don't do this. I'm a sprinter.
You're not going to walk 800 Ks.
Not a chance. I need to see, I just need to see where I'm going, and I'm just going to run as fucking fast as I can to get there. Like, set of stairs, no problems. Like, even if you're like, let's go for a walk, I want to run to the next groin, and then I'll just take a little breath, and then we'll run to the next groin. It's like,
I look forward to seeing you in 20 years when you've needed to learn the same lessons I've needed to learn. I literally did. It was like therapy for me. And I took everything off my phone. My phone was just a phone. Nothing else. No music, no nothing. It was like a walking meditation for 26 days, 800 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. So yes, we need to exercise in a way that works for you. Otherwise people won't do it. We need to stop procrastinating. So
one of
the chapters is about procrastinating. And that's just about getting it, again, just getting it's mindful stuff, getting your head around stuff. We need to play more. And so that's all about ways to bring play in. So the essentials, spontaneity, using aromatherapy, essential oils to help lighten moods, and herbs and all that stuff. So it's all that stuff.
I've got one of my team members who, she's got so much personality. And when she does play, she plays. But there's this, she's got this, it's almost like a control, I want to say issue. She knows it's there. Like, she knows that she's got this issue with being able to fully release and fully play, and there's some sort of blocker. Have you come across other people that have got this sort of inability to fully immerse themselves in play and the permission to do so?
Yes, absolutely. And so just, again, everyone's got a range. So they're stuck in this range, and it's baby steps. They've got to feel safe that they can do it. And depending if she's young, it's usually about that not wanting to look silly, where I'm just a dick. I don't give a shit whatever happens anywhere. Really, on my Facebook today, the surf was so flat this morning. One of the other chicks and I, we spent the whole time diving in front of my GoPro, just doing stupid stuff. But that's, I don't care. But that's come with age for me. It's so, if someone's young, I get it. It can be harder to let go and let yourself, look, feel silly. You might have that idea, but I promise, if you were told tomorrow you will die unless you fully just let go and go and play your ass off, it's sad that we need that kind of thing to come to that point. But if we were told you will die if you do not just relax 100%, that comes, I think, just with baby steps a little bit. And so I really love the book, The 4 Agreements.
Oh, yes.
So I get that one of the agreements is that everyone's doing their best. She's doing her best. Help her feel safe to go a little bit further, a little bit more uncomfortable, a little bit more, and let her build on it. But she would be doing her best. Our challenge in life is to let them do their best. Well, our growth, but it's not a challenge. Our growth point is to let everyone else do their best. It's different to our best. But you've grown into you. You weren't this fucking fantastic all 20, 30 years ago, but you've grown into that. Everyone's got to grow through their range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really love that point, though, that their best. I did a rant years ago about stop trying to be the best version of yourself, because you're not actually trying to be the best version of yourself. You're trying to be the best version in comparison to whoever you're fucking comparing yourself to. That's not actually who you are. Firstly, get aligned to who you really are. Any advice that you have for people supporting other people? Like, we sometimes unfairly put our own expectations of others, or what we feel is, or maybe we see the potential in someone and we want to push them.
And we push them to get it.
Yeah. What's your advice around that?
Oh, look, I'm still a work in progress, but I know I've relaxed so much more with that. I've always been the person who can see potential in other people. And one of my superpowers is that I'm really good at helping to lift and guide people. But sometimes I'm trying to make it happen on my timeline, not theirs.
Yeah.
The book, The 4 Agreements, honestly brought peace to my life. I've got to let them do it at their pace.
Yeah.
It's like the butterfly. You can't just break open the cocoon, get out of the fucking cocoon and fly. It doesn't work. It dies. It doesn't work. You've got to let it has to do the struggle. The only way we truly learn and grow is to struggle. And our growth point is to let ourselves not be frustrated watching them do it their pace. Yeah. So when it comes to business, I talk to people about, and I work, part of my business is coaching natural therapists to take their businesses online with creating courses and books and all the kind of stuff. And I say to them all the time, it's your business, your way, your pace. I can guide. I'm not going to drag anyone. I have to let them grow through it. And I remember when I was a speaker, when I first decided I wanted to be a speaker 20 years ago, the going rate for
every introvert does. Yeah.
Well, I remember sitting in clinic thinking, I was so frustrated that I did 10 years in clinic full time. And I was frustrated. I could only physically see 40 or 50 patients a week. And I have to leave the world a better place. That's my driver. I don't fix the fucking world. Anyway, so I went, how do I help more people? Or you write books and you speak at conferences, but you're an introvert. So I used to wear blue jacket. I wore all the color codes. I got into all the color codes. I did everything just to have the guts to stand on stage. It was hilarious. My metamorphosis to be able to get through and then speak to thousands of people was incredible. But I remember from a price point, but 20 years ago, the going price for a gig was about $2.5 grand for a keynote. And I had no self-worth around, we used to, back in those days, we charged $50 for a consult as a naturopath for an hour. So I had no self-worth around that. And I remember my first gig, I charged $350 for. And after I got a few runs on the board, I was like, fuck, I got $350. Was to a bunch of dentists. Anyway, and it grew. Then it went to $750, then $1,500, then $3.5 grand, $5.5, $8.5, which for me was insane for an hour and a half keynote. But I had to grow me to grow my business. Mm. And the same thing. So if you've got anyone in your life, whether it's staff or other colleagues and that, we have to let them grow their pace. We guide, but we can't drag them. Yeah. And our lesson is to not get frustrated and to let them grow their way.
Yeah.
Because everything's a mirror. So if we're frustrated with anyone, it's the lesson's for us. The lesson's not for them. The lesson is for us. We have to get that. And it's easier to just go, no, it's all about them. No, it's actually not. We attract them so that we can grow. It shits me, but it's the truth. God, life is interesting.
It's all about the growth, isn't it? It's the experience. So what number are we up to for the Saturday?
Oh yeah, where are we up to? What have we done? Chill out. We haven't done chill out.
Haven't got chill out. Yep.
Haven't done chill out. So chill out is, and I did some research years ago through one of the private health insurers in Australia. So I've got a bunch of corporates in Sydney and really saw where the biggest disconnects were. And it was the transitioning from work to home. So it's the get that, you're not playing for sheep stations, you're not trying to land someone on the moon, all those kind of things. So we can just take the edge off a bit of the stress that we're doing on our day-to-day tasks at work, but getting to people to be able to transition from work life to home life, to be able to switch off most effectively was really important. And we did some trials with some different essential oils, because I'm an aromatherapist and a naturopath, so I'm going to go that way. But simple essential oils, even like lime essential oil, gives you the feeling like you're just kind of hanging out in a hammock. Well, that one essential oil, we help people be able to leave work at work by 61% using one oil in their drive on the way home.
Colada blend.
Say again?
I need a pina colada blend.
Yeah. Would you like a pina colada?
Yeah, that would
pina coladas. Yeah. Well, but that's the thing.
Relaxed zone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is a bit of interesting information that came out of the research. When stressed, the baby boomers, my generation, we went to tea, coffee, alcohol, all the stimulants, tea, coffee, alcohol, all those kind of things. The younger generations go to carbs. Where's the worst type 2 diabetes nowadays?
Yeah.
It's not my generation, it's the younger generations. Interesting. They're dealing with stress differently. So when we're stressed and the cortisol's out of whack and we're outside the alkaline corridor, you crave whatever the shit is that your body, is craving. And the younger generations are craving the acidic carbs. My generation, and like I did, I went to alcohol, tea, coffee, alcohol, chocolate classed as a stimulant. It's all the stimulants. Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, because you see that's people holding down pizza and
donuts and whatever's, it's just like, no. And then that
burgers
on a bigger spiral down.
Yeah.
Very
Can I just because I've been doing a lot of work with my clients lately about the third space.
Yeah.
And whether it's a physical space, but that ability to be able to either disconnect from the home life when you're going into work life to be completely present, or switching off from the work life to go home and be present.
Yeah.
Give us, so you said Lime's one of them. What's some of your other tools? Because I make all my clients make their state changing toolkits. So like a playlist, an oil, a activity, so that when they're like, if they wake up and they're feeling pissed off at the world and they're a bit flat, what's your go-to tunes and your oils that you put on? Yeah. So give us what you think is some of your state changing tools.
Yeah, I agree. Music's big, and I use music. I actually, on my way surfing in the morning, because I want to hit the water all zen because it's sunrise and all that stuff. I'm not in the party wave mode.
Yeah.
I chant. I've used, Hindu chants for 30 odd years, and I chant and I create that state to go surf. But when I'm coming home, I'm just like singing my guts out, the top of my lungs to, my playlists. I've worked from home for 30 odd years. So my office, here at home, I use music to break that. But I also I move my body. That's it. Or I'll go and play my ukulele. Like you've got to physically use your body. In the aromatherapy world, definitely Lime is great. Ylang ylang essential oil, which is a flower essential oil. That's excellent with it. But just something light and fun is the go. If you've got a garden, and what is your thing that you like to do? So I grow 90% of my own food. So I'll just do a lap of the garden to change my state. That's all part of it. I ground out. I start my day in the garden, I end the day in the garden. Just do a lap, say hello to each plant. It's whatever is your thing that you really enjoy doing. That 5 minutes of doing that will physically change your state more. And then you can have, it's quality time when the kids are going, dad, 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 mum, mum, mum. You want to be able to be present with them. You don't want to have your brain full of that work stuff. So you've got to ground out whatever is your thing you like to do. But music and movement are the two biggest ones. And then your senses, and then smell, definitely.
Okay. Beautiful. We like to go on Friday with my group. We go from work to twerk. So
you go twerking.
Well, I'm just Zoom calls to each other.
I'm not a twerker. I really should learn that.
Well, funny enough, my team member that I was talking about, one of the things when she does let herself play is she does twerk lessons. And so when we do team stuff here at the house, she teaches me to twerk. Yeah, and so we'll do it on Zoom with the client group.
Love it.
And that's like our fun little thing. Can't do it right now. We've got back that spazzed out just before the call, but
I've never thought of this 60-year-old dyke twerking, but I'm open.
Oh my
to
God.
everything. I'll try everything.
Can please make this a Facebook thing?
What's that?
You.
Me twerking?
Yeah.
That's not fair. I live a life of yes. Okay, in the future. I can't promise when.
Okay, what I'm going to do next time Charlotte comes down, so next time my teammate's here, you're only up the road. It's going to be a twerk session.
We're going to twerk.
Yeah.
I live a life of yes. I have to say yes.
Yes.
Fuck.
It's
great that I get myself into. It's nuts.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
All right, I agreed to twerk with you.
Yes. Everyone's got this. It's
yeah. It's recorded.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would rather live a life of yes and just go yes. And then that's the thing. People think themselves out of shit and they miss out. I'm so grateful I said yes to surfing. I can't believe I'm so obsessed with it. It is just so good. And I'm still such a beginner / trying to be an intermediate. But I love it. I might enjoy twerking. I've never thought about twerking, but I might enjoy it. But you don't know unless you just say yes.
You're going to love it.
We'll see.
It's just this full body embodiment of like just getting down and feeling it's.
If you've seen me dance, Jade, it's a bit interesting. I don't know if this body's got loose enough hips to twerk, but I'll sure give it a go.
That's going to be the main thing.
All right. I promise.
A really important point you made as well, like it doesn't matter if you're only beginner or intermediate, because if you love it, the whole point is you're there to play. You're not there to perform.
And I've surfed a couple of times with Stephanie Gilmore, and she says the best surfers are the ones out there, is the one out there having the best fun. And I live on that. I really do. I'm never going to be the cut and carve chick. I'm not a shortboard chick. I'm a cruiser. And when I'm on a wave, I swear, it's like, the noises I make are hilarious. And I don't give a shit because I'm so happy that I'm riding a wave. It's just it's insane what it does to my body. So I'm always going to be the Yahoo and old lady who rides cruising. And I don't care. I don't care. It's fun.
I love it. I had a guy on the podcast a few episodes ago called Anthony Lay, and he's tied in with the guys from Ombi and Clayton Surf. And so he was part of my surf coaching. And I have just never seen a more stoked dude in the water ever.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, how many coffees you had? Doesn't drink coffee, doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't do stimulants.
Just high on life.
Oh my God. He's just body surfing into a barrel, getting absolutely annihilated. He's like, wow!
Yeah.
And you can't not be stoked to be around him.
Yeah. But that's the difference between living and existing. I meet too many people who are just existing. They're wonderful. Like, really, are you? And if they are, fantastic. But I meet so many people, they're doing this all sorted, looking cool. And then the inside, they're going, I just want to come and Yahoo with you. Yeah. Hand slap people, high 10 people, high 5 people on the way. I can't even say it, let alone do it. But it's insane. The same as you're so stoked hanging around with that bloke. The people I go out with, we just have a blast. And I want that in my life. I don't want to be, I'm not the competitive, serious surfer chick. I'm just not. I just want the joy in life because I know the value on my health.
Yeah.
I want to live strong, fit, and healthy. And the only way that's going to come is by me embodying all those elements of health.
Yeah.
And that play more overrides all the good food and all the other stuff. It just does.
It's so funny because out of all the interviews that I do, like nearly everyone that I speak to, when I say to them, what's the most important thing with like when you're looking at giving advice to people, that they say play. And like when I talk to people about what's the virtues you want to, like now that you're getting to redesign your business, what do you want to bring to it? Oh, fun, play. And it's like it's been this thing that's been missing. And it's like, how do we bring this in? Do you have any resources, tools, books, or anything that you think someone could read or listen to that might help them to be able to play a little bit more or to break free or even inspire them on how to live more? If this isn't enough.
I think again, it's the how you do one thing is how you do everything. So every time I sit and eat a meal, I watch YouTubes of reruns of Ellen, or I really do. I watch or some comedy. And the reason is our blood sugar is directly affected when we eat by what our surroundings are. So people so bad. People will sit and watch the news or be reading a business book or something like that.
Never watch the fucking news.
No. But people do serious stuff when they're eating, and yet, in the childhood days where everyone would sit around the family, the dinner table and just chat and that was good for our body. But the way that people are eating the meals nowadays is dangerous, particularly to blood sugar levels. So again, type 2 diabetes is through the roof. And it's preventable, 100% preventable. So I bring comedies into my life. So when I'm sitting and eating a meal, unless I'm somewhere like, whoa, and I have a beautiful view where I am and all that kind of stuff, but I'll sit and laugh while I eat because I know the benefit to my body. And so I think then it just permeates through, I've taught myself to have fun. I worked in the 1980s. Holy shit, business was nasty. I remember there was no workplace laws. The shit I did and the way I treated staff and all that stuff, I'm embarrassed by what I did. It was horrible what I did, but it was the way it was just done. Everyone did it. And the work hard, play harder, they were crazy, crazy times. Everyone made a shitload of money, but killed ourselves in the process. So I know that side of the world, and I've taught myself to have fun, because I can be a really intense person no matter what I'm doing. So I choose to have intense fun, but I've learned to do that. But it's the hey, do one things, hey, do everything. So you've got to bring that side of it in so that it can flow into your business life, I think.
Beautiful.
The same as I could have a really sensible background, but I just want me board there. And I don't give a shit. Like, it's what I love.
I'm down with that. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I've got a sign over here that says get shit done though. And then I've got a roll map over here. And I've got my salt lamp down on my feet.
Excellent.
Can you just talk to me through what you just said then about team and how you treated staff? So my whole thing is that happiness is the greatest hack to productivity and profitability. And I believe that I was put on, like, my purpose is to make humans happier at work. And I'm on a mission to make 6,000 people happier at work by 2024. So what's your learnings? Like, I ran a recruitment firm during the GFC, like with bad human, bad then, like for the grinding and the pushing and all the bollocksing. What can you share to, like, what do you share with your naturopath business owners about building their teams and building their culture?
So again, someone's got to go first. Everyone's waiting for someone else. Everyone's waiting for someone to be fun so they can tag onto that vibe. Be that vibe yourself. So just how you want, the clients that, we talk about your avatar and the clients you want to attract in your business and everything. Make sure you're that person now. If you want to work with people that are fun and everything, well, stop being in an intense, bloody boring shit. Like, I've learned that you can be really professional and have a greater impact if you're just relaxed and fun. The reality is that people learn better if it's fun. They just do. If they're comfortable and fun, they'll remember it. I still teach on stage the way I learned how to teach in the army. Make a point, tell a story. Make a point, tell a story. So I'm big on using my life screw ups or growing adventures to make a point. It's just the way it is, but it's relatable and people remember it. The reason I say, if I just say to you, Jade, never eat white bread, white rice, white pasta again. Why? Because it's bowel plaque and it will leach all the minerals and everything out of your body. You go, oh, okay, you're sure, Jen. So Jade, stop eating fucking bum glue. You go, what's bum glue? White bread, white rice and pasta. Do you remember?
I can't wait to use this on the kids, because I always thought, I call it white death. And that's just not having, it's not having the right.
No. So
not landing, but I reckon bum glue.
Bum glue, they remember it. I have ruined so many conferences because I've gone on to speak right before the lunch break. No one cuts the meal. I don't give a shit. But so this is the visual for all you people who are visuals. My generation, I think you're too young. We used to make glue at school out of flour and water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you remember how it stuck to that bloody stupid paper mache?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember how it stunk when it had been in the jar?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what white bread is, white rice and white pasta in your bowel. It's rotten. It causes cancers. But the biggest thing is it leaches all the minerals out of your body. It's like glue. Here, I'll give you an experiment. So this is a true test. So with your fingertips on the outside of your legs where your fingertips just meet, just kind of give it a massage hard and fast. Give it a really good rub and notice if you're sore on your left or right leg. Okay, don't tell anyone, just notice. No one needs to know. Okay, you notice, cool, stop. So this is a pressure point that we use that lines up with your large intestine. Left leg relates to your descending colon. So the last part before it goes out as poo. Your right leg is the ascending, so where it comes up from your appendix. So whenever we eat anything, food goes into your stomach, it gets all chewed up, goes to your small intestine where you absorb the nutrients. Then it goes past the appendix and goes into your bowel. Your bowel's job is to reabsorb any last liquid before what is in there goes out as poo.
Oh, Mike. Oh, no, we lost
Mike, I'm back. I bumped it.
Back.
Yeah, before the last bit goes out as poo. So what happens when you eat bum glue is that stuff sticks along the walls of the bowel. Now, if you were sore on your left leg, it means you've got some bowel plaques and bum glue stuck on the left, on the descending colon. You're not special. You're like the majority of the world's population because we're raised on white bread. If you are sore on your right leg, it actually means that you're backed up to your appendix. And in clinic, we say that you're full of shit. Truth. Now, so the thing is, 70 or 80% of headaches generate from the large intestine. So again, people can be getting stressed. They think, oh, it's just stress. But then they're defaulting and eating carbs when they're stressed. And it's like, remove the carbs, stop leaching the minerals like magnesium out of your body so that you're going to deal with the stress simply, and you're not going to have bum glue stuck there, and you fix your headaches. Like a naturopath, we just go the step behind. We go, what's going on behind it? And when we can sort that out, life works. But that's one little tweak. Get rid of the bum glue in your life. Makes a huge difference to your life.
I don't eat wheat, grain, preservatives, any processed shit. And I can definitely say the difference that's made.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking to parents about children's behavior, and you're like, how much white bread did they just have today? And do you know how much sugar's in white bread, let alone the bread in the bread? Like, they just cannot understand. I'm like, okay, so you've got a V8 car, and it takes petrol, and you're gonna inject it with some
diesel. Won't work. Yeah.
The same. Like, and and I think this is a really huge part, and a big thing that I've seen in the entrepreneurs that have kind of gone that flat line and then made a difference, and they're like skyrocketing. A lot of them, they've changed their relationship with food, but alcohol and stimulants.
Yes.
And it's not just because they've gained that control and the discipline. It is like garbage in, garbage out.
Your brain fires differently. Absolutely. Yeah. But you can have the cleaner, you can have your raw, vegan, organic, paleo, whole food, keto, whoopty-doopy diet. And if you're running negative emotions, stress, worry, overwork, guilt, you'll still have an acidic, not firing right body. We have to address the stress. It's not just exercise. It's not just diet. We have to deal with life. Whether we like it or not, we're emotional beings. We have to look at it.
It's got to be that well-rounded, because how many people have we seen that are vegan or vegetarian and they're supposed to be healthy,
and they're not really.
And they're like, oh, you look like you're going to die.
Yeah, big time. They've got no life in them. Shoot, I've in clinic, I've dealt with fruitarians, breatharians, every kind of Aryan over the years, and they can be more unhealthy than the person who has a friggin' hamburger. Yeah, like it's balance in everything in life, and it's not what we do 5 or 10% of the time. It's what we do the majority of the time that influence. Same as our business. Our daily bare ass minimum, in actions to build our business, producing, following up, all those kind of things is no different with our bare ass minimum with our health. Drink the water, don't eat the bum glue, like just do the core basics, live as close to nature as you can the majority of the time, and go to bed on time, and it works. I'm going to send you messages. I'm going to send you messages in future at night. Say, Jade, you asleep yet?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I message my team when they tell me their commitment is to finish work at a certain time and go to bed, and I'll message them. And with my group coaching clients, I've got a client in Texas and a client in Sydney, and they message each other on their individual time zones to tell each other when they're supposed to be getting ready for bed.
Yeah. So guess what? Remember how I said before, we teach what we need to learn? You got to do this shit, Jane. I promise if I can do it, you can. I used to be the same. But the reality was I was checking off this planet, and when I have to fix this shit, and I have, and it's a discipline. And, 1 or 2 nights a week, absolutely. I stay and play and do what I want. But the majority of the week, I'm disciplined about sleep. I promise it adds years to your life. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. I promise.
Okay. So I think maybe my action item right now, actually, I'm going to do the action item right now. I'm grabbing the phone and I'm changing the 10 o'clock bedtime
to a 9:30.
Yes.
Done.
9:30.
Yes.
Done.
Love it. Perfect. I'm happy.
Friday and Saturday.
Done. Perfect. But that's great. If you do that 5 days a week, Jade, that will make a difference.
Yeah.
And then it's the discipline. So when the alarm goes off, you go, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah.
It's a discipline that's worth it.
It gives me half an hour to do the chicks things like, oh, pictures. Oh, I'm going to fold this blanket and lay it over the couch.
We can't help ourselves. It's just incredible. It's just built into us. It's stupid.
I was like, oh, that's right. I had those words written on the mirror. Let's get to fix those. Oh, hilarious.
It is hilarious. We're shockers. Yes.
What else do you feel called to share today? Like, what's anything else coming up for you? Anything else you want to give the beach-loving, barrel-chasing business owners that are tuning in?
Probably the other big thing that I corrected when I did burn out was I used to be the perfectionist. I was always got to get it right. And I've lived by the Google model way before Google was around. So Google, they beat everyone to business because once anything is ready, 80%, they stick it out there. And customer, people go, oh, this button doesn't work. And they go, oh, thanks for telling us.
Yeah.
And they correct it. So 30 years ago when I burned out, I went, I just can't, the perfectionist thing is not working for me. I've lived by getting 80% right. I failed English at school. I just did. Miserably failed English at school, but I've written 14 books. I learned that I can pay someone to fix my grammar and spelling. I'm dyslexic. I still can't write. The word and is hilarious. I go A-N-D, and every time it comes out A-D-N. I don't know why. It doesn't work. But I just went, it's okay.
I usually get dyslexic out.
But I have people, people I've coached, and they'll send me back, Jen, you got a typo again. And the time that you were correcting my text, I went and earned this extra money by doing this email or something. Get your shit together, get it 80% right, get it out there. That would be a big piece of advice.
Better than perfect.
Yeah. And then the other thing is we've got to give to get. If everyone does the little bit to leave this world a better place, whatever you're called to do it, do a baby step today. Don't wait until you're big and successful and you're going to do all that. Do it now. Give whatever or wherever it is that you're called to do it, but give. It will come back to you so big.
I love that. I love that, especially when it comes to like energy. It doesn't take much to give another human a little bit of energy when
be a day maker.
A smile.
Yeah, make someone's day. Give them a compliment. Like seriously, just be a nice human being.
Yeah. And that just raises everyone around us. And then as we rise, we all rise.
Agree. 100% agree.
Awesome. Well, on that note, we'll put in show notes, links to your books, any of the oils that you want to share and anything like that. We'll pop those in as well, in the herbs. But where's the best place for people to connect and consume more of you?
Well, I have a podcast nowadays, which is called Healthy Life Hacks. And they're all 10 to 15 minute sound bites. They're one thing to do this week, just one thing to do this week to integrate it into your life. So I'm realistic. It's not the one a day because they won't do it. So they're all little sound bites that you can do listening to the car, anywhere, super easy. That's an easy way to get me. Healthy Life Hacks on your favorite platform. And my website, jenniferjefferies.com, where you can go and download the free ebook and just find my stuff. Follow me on the socials. I am the present day wise woman, which is my version of the crone. So I am a 60-year-old woman. And the word crone, which is a whole nother subject, is just, it's terrible. We don't honor our wise people. We don't honor our men and women for the experience they've got in life. And I want to redefine that word. And so I call myself the present day wise woman, just because I want to get women to start owning the wisdom that they have as they age. So that you'll find me on everything as the present day wise woman.
Love it. I love it. We'll link out to everything. Thank you so much for spending the afternoon.
Thank you. I've had a ball. I really have had a ball.
I feel pumped. I've taken action. The weird thing is the postman was actually delivering essential oils. I know what the parcel was.
There are no coincidences in life. It's all perfect.
It's all perfect. And I'm ready to go make myself some new tools in terms of I'm going to get some lime and all of those things.
Awesome.
So thank you so much, Jennifer. Guys, as always,
thanks,
if anyone has felt like there's anything they've heard in here that somebody else in their orbit, some of the five should hear, any of those people approaching burnout, the people that aren't playing enough, the people who may be eating too much bum glue, just share this episode with them. Cool. Thanks so much, guys, and we're out.
See ya.
Hey there, barrel chasing business owners. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the show. What I would love for you to do, if you feel like you got any value or entertainment out of this episode at all, is to leave us a 5-star review and comment below so that we can share the message and impact as many business owners like you as possible. Thanks.